Welcome to Reason Tips and Tricks Part 2. Let's just go ahead and jump into this. So the first thing I want to show you guys is that Reason has a function for inserting bars between the locators here. So if you ever are at a point where you're working on a track and you realize that you want to insert some bars, and instead of selecting everything here, and I'm going to hold down Control and use my right arrow, instead of doing something like that or just dragging with your selection tool, which is fine, you can also set your locators and right click and choose insert bars between locators. And you can, if you change your mind, you can Control Z, but also just to show you, there's also the opposite function where you can remove bars between locators. So those two are available for you there. The second tip is that if you are going to work with audio and manipulate that audio, whether it's going to be stretching, so if you hold down Control, you see I've got the clock there that shows up next to the pointer, and I can stretch that. You want to be sure that in the track list here that you have the proper setting for the stretch and transpose type. You can choose between all around, which is for polyphonic material. You've got melody, which is for monophonic material, and vocal is self-explanatory. So that's going to help choose the correct algorithm for when Reason processes that audio. Okay, staying on audio, the topic of audio, if you import your own audio or use some of the audio samples within Reason, you can export that audio as a Rex file to then bring into, Dr. Octo Rex, or even use in Kong. You can use in the Nurse Rex in Kong. So even if you have a little drum loop that you made in an older song or something like that, you can import it into here. I'll escape out of there. So you can import that audio file into Reason, double click, then right click on that loop or audio file, then go to bounce clip to Rex loop. Then what this will do is it brings up your browser, and you can see the all self-contained samples for this song. You now have, it's labeled as audio track 1. It corresponds here. You now have that Rex file that you can, like I said, use in Kong or Dr. Octo. Okay. So the next thing I'd like to talk about is something simple, but that can be useful for just helping speed things up when you're trying to navigate within the sequencer. You can right click on the song navigator and drag up or down to minimize or to zoom in and out horizontally, while also moving left or right. I think that's just a cool little feature. Okay, and next I'm going to open up a MIDI clip here. When you are, this is another simple thing but convenient, when you are working with velocity information for notes, one quick way to get a sense of what's going on is to note that I'm going to bring up my pencil tool here and hit W, and I'll drop that down, drop this down. If you notice the shades here change, within Reason, the darker color is going to mean a higher velocity. So one way to get a quick idea of what your velocity information is just taking note of the different colors. The MIDI notes will correspond with the color on the velocity bars down here as well. I'm just going to Control Z and bringing everything back to normal. That's a simple thing. I've noticed the color changes, and I never really paid quite much attention to it, but now that I actually know what it is, it's probably obvious to a lot of you, but it's helpful to know if you're trying to do some mixing and you have some audio issues with levels, then you can kind of take a quick glance at your MIDI notes and see what's going on by the tone of the MIDI notes or the velocity bars. Of course, the velocity bars, you can just look at them and see how short or tall they are. One other thing while we're in the MIDI clip is that you can change the position of MIDI notes by holding down the control key and using the arrow keys. So if I hold control and hit the up key, it's then going to move it vertically. The right or left is going to nudge it. Sometimes I will drag my notes, but that can sometimes get a little sloppy. So if you have something you want to move, just hold down control and move up or down. And going back to the velocity again, if you hold down control, if you have to have the pencil tool up, so I'm going to hit W, bring up the pencil tool, and then hold down control. You will get the cross here, and with this is the line tool, and you can use this to create velocity ramps. So you drag and create a line there, and now you can see you've got a ramp there. Just a convenient little feature there. Instead of going in and adjusting each one, you just know that you do have that option. So I'm using the pencil tool by hitting W and then holding down control, and you get the line tool. And I'll just go ahead and Control Z. And so I think we're just gonna keep this video short this time and leave it there. It's been a long day. So thanks for watching, and look out for more videos in the future.